Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm Brendan Lee. In this video, I want to talk to you about what it's like to do a workshop here. This came up, one, because I'm starting to prepare for the fall retreat, which is a very serious group of workshops that happen. People come here, do a lot of work, they get a lot of benefit, and a lot of fascinating discoveries to be had. And as I was preparing, and then I was going to bed the other night, and I was thinking about people's approach or the many different types of people I've seen that come here over the years. And I thought I would make a video to share an analogy or like what it's like to do a workshop in the hopes that people who come here, if you see this video, if you come here, you should be able to get more out of doing the work, not less. And the analogy that I came up with as I can't really remember what I was doing. It was either going to bed or it was like I think I was preparing for the Being Complete workshop and then reading, and it occurred to me, it's like, oh yeah, I should tell people it's more like this because, when people come in, one of the biggest barriers that I see is that some people, many, come in and they have a preset notion, and it's hard not to do this, by the way, so I'm not picking on anybody, I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just saying it gets in the way. I'm trying to elucidate the trap and then give you a more powerful way to think about it so that you can get more out of it. But it's essentially like they may come from a spiritual belief system or a belief system of any kind about like the way the world works, where they might be on a journey to try to heal, or they're trying to find enlightenment and freedom because they read some books and heard like, oh yeah, that's a thing to do. And so there's like a preset destination in mind. Or I've seen these other ways people come in and it's like they have a preset notion of how to live life, and they're looking for like the right way to live and the right things to do and the right like food to eat and stuff like that. It's like, tell me the right way. And we don't do that either. Okay. Or they come in and they're like, I want to get something useful. I want to get something valuable. I want to get better. I want to get healthy. Teach me how to get healthy. And we don't do that either. Except maybe the Being Complete workshop was working on ending suffering, which I think is a healthy thing to do. So like as a byproduct, you get healthy. But anyway, that's a sidebar. So my point is the analogy that came, so people come in with all these preset notions. And in most of the work we do, the consciousness work for sure, most of it, it is not about what you get out of it. It is not about healing you. It is not about giving you the right set of beliefs. It is definitely not about creating a belief system. And the analogy I thought of is like you go on a roller coaster. You don't, right? You go on a roller coaster, why? Like, what's it for? Now, I'm not saying this is entertainment. A roller coaster is also for entertainment and to scare the shit out of you. That's not our job either. Okay, the analogy is starting to break down, but essentially the initial thought was you go on a roller coaster for the experience. You don't go on a roller coaster to try to get the roller coaster to tell you how to live. You don't go on the adventure to have it share with you the right things to do, to give you a belief system. No, the roller coaster does its thing and you go for a ride. And then what you get out of that is up to you. Yeah, as I'm considering this, the analogy is starting to break down in my mind, so likely it's breaking down for you. My point is, don't treat this place, your experience here, like something that's designed to reinforce the way that you think. It's not designed to heal you. It's not designed to give you beneficial knowledge. It is not designed for that. It is designed to give you an experience and essentially to have you discover stuff in your own experience about your experience of life, about your experience of self, other, about suffering and getting over it, or about transforming your experience of life, or even about discovering the true nature of things, what we call the absolute, or having a direct consciousness. It's not about, it's more like a discovery. You know, like if you go into a museum, you're curious, like, where did this come from? Where did this come from? It's like the museum doesn't imbue me with spiritual woo-woo powers. No, you go in the museum and somebody shows you shit. Yeah? You go in the museum and you get a tour guide, and the tour guide takes you around and starts pointing things out. Hey, did you know that this piece was built by a Roman emperor after blah, blah, blah? And you go, whoa, interesting. Wow, yeah, and it's made like this. You see, and there's not a mystique, a mystical, magical fantasy about it. It's very practical. And the facilitator person is like the museum guide. You know, like one of the things Peter has said, and I by proxy also say, and it's also true for me, is it's not about the person. It's like I'm the messenger. You know, I am, my role as a facilitator is to be extremely skillful, have clarity, know what the fuck I'm talking about, like know the material, and then be a skillful tour guide that can show you things. And in consciousness work, it is all about inviting you to grasp things for yourself. See, so it's kind of like I'm out of it. I'm like, it's not me, it ain't me, okay? Like don't put a bunch of extra stuff onto the facilitator, you know, that doesn't need to be there. Yes, there's a great deal of trust that needs to occur, absolutely, because if you don't have trust, you're not going to listen well. And the facilitator should act in a way that earns your trust and is trustworthy. You know, honest, straight, clear, they're powerful. You know, that should be in place. And, you know, open, skillful. But the rest, it's not, the person is unimportant, like Brendan, you know, the intricacies of my own personal life are not what's on the table. It is your discovery. It is your experience. It is your insights. It's your breakthroughs. And I'm the one, in the case of the workshops, it's like I would be the one, or Peter is the one. You know, together we are the people that help you discover that for yourself, and then our job is done, okay? It's kind of like that. Like you go through the tour, you have the experience, you take the roller coaster, and we might ask you in the midst of the roller coaster to stay very focused over here, or control your mind like this, or did you notice that? Or can you see how it's built? Or can you see what gravity is? Now, can you get the nature of the whole thing while you're going through it, you see? And then do. We do a bunch of work, and then it's over, and then you get what you get, kind of thing. See? So it's kind of like that. I just wanted to share a little bit. I hope this is useful toward the end that I stated at the beginning of the video, which is to give you a perspective and perhaps a way of holding the work so that it doesn't get bogged down in fantastical belief systems about how you should live. Being told the right way to live or the right way to eat, or in support of fantasies. That's another big thing. And I know because I was 18, I saw Peter my first time when I was 17, and of course, I was like a young kid, didn't know squat, and I was like, he's the master. He's a master fighter and an enlightened guy. Like he has had enlightenment experiences, many. And he's very conscious and he's very smart. And so he's like the guy. And he fits the bill for a 17-year-old male brain, he's the enlightened master on the hill. So I came in with the fantasies, and the fantasies are not the reality. All fantasies, by definition, are not the thing. So and it's okay, because the reality is real. There's something more powerful about the reality than the fantasies, because the fantasies are untrue. They may have a massive impact on your experience. They may dominate your experience. Like if I come in with a fantasy like of the martial arts guy, it's like, oh, yes, everything makes sense. He's the martial arts master. I must aspire to be the master and be like him and do the stuff. But there's no hill. It's just a lot of work and a lot of intelligence and a lot of considering. See, but then the real results come from that effort. And so I do remember a time when I came in and you see I was going to be an apprentice, and I was an apprentice many times. And I had to confront that. And it wasn't comfortable. The reality of training 8 to 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, 5 hours on Sundays, whatever, for months. The reality of getting up and doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's not glamorous. It's not pretty. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And doing it with people that maybe in the morning I get up and somebody's breath is really bad and they're real close to me and I'm like, my God, this is, you see, I'm like, get off of me. Just over and over, relentless. See, and that does something real. See, I'm just telling you this in a sense to try to like help break up the fantasies, help get you a little more real, help get you a little more aligned with what's occurring. So if you do come here and do a workshop, which they're incredibly valuable in that they do produce real results for the person, I cannot guarantee the results, okay? You can guarantee the results based on how much work you put in. But I cannot guarantee results, but I can guarantee that if you do the work, you will get results. And that's on you. See, I wish I could make a guarantee, but anybody, there are certain domains where people make a lot of claims about guarantees, and I think they're mostly crap. Like, oh, you do my 5 easy steps for da-da-da-da-da. No, we've got 1 million steps. None of them are easy, okay? It's just work. But it is ultimately freeing. It's empowering. It helps move people away from fantasy and towards reality. It helps rip people off of lies that they have, fabrications, stuff they make up that they don't realize they've made up, and into something more authentic, more real, more true, more present, more honest, more open. And then there's insights about the nature of reality, the nature of mind, the nature of relationship. We have insights about communication, about understanding self and other, and how reality and experience is constructed, all this stuff, and much more. Ending suffering, transforming your experience of life. And then, we have also intensives. These are for people to have direct consciousness or become conscious of the absolute nature of what is. You see, it's just what's really ultimately true, not like fantasy, but real. See, and much more. So I just wanted to do that. This is half sales pitch in a sense, like, hey, come do the work. It's awesome. It's powerful. It's incredible. And then also, when you come here to do work, here's an approach that might serve you better or invite you to check your stuff so you don't come in with as much stuff. And don't turn this video into a fantasy about the hard-working, I'm a hard-working consciousness guy, and I'm going to confront, and I'm going to be really authentic. You see, doing that like an act, which again is inauthentic, which is a trap, and it's kind of hard, But my goal is to try to free you up from some of this stuff before you come in. So it's more of an experience. It's something you apply yourself to. It's not something that's done to you. You come in and you bring your power. You bring yourself to the work, and together we create something. See, it's not a preacher preaching. It is a man or woman of skill working with you to help you make breakthroughs for yourself that then you take on. You live the life you want to live. You have it. Once you've made the breakthrough, it's yours, kind of thing. And my job is just to assist in that effort, right, as a facilitator, okay? So that's a little bit of the flavor. This is the environment you work in. Of course, I have it set up with lights, and I try to arrange the background to be to what I like to be a good presentation. You see, I got like a blue shirt. I really like the blue mats, and then it's lit, and then you see like the chairs in the background. I've actually got I'm preparing for the next workshop, so I've got the music stand set up, and I'm like reading, working to get ready, stuff like that. So it's like this is the presentation. Of course, it's going to look different when you're in it because there'll be lights above and all this stuff. But this is the basic gist. There's people sleep over there. We do meals back there. It works out. It's very powerful. Okay? So I just wanted to share that with you. I hope it helps. I hope to see you here for a workshop. If you'd like to do that, check the links in the description. Navigate my website. It'll push you over to Ralston's website for now, and you can check out our workshop offerings. You can come here and do them. They're incredibly powerful. If that's too much for right now, I want to invite you to reach out to me, email me with questions, or I have a monthly Zoom call where I work with people once a month for a fairly low price, like $10 a month, and you can have some community. You can ask questions that are related to consciousness work. I also work with people in domains of skill, which is to say personal power, having integrity, being a powerful human being, not living in the land of excuses and more, and like getting over your challenges in life and being effective and productive and stuff like that as well, kind of like a group coaching. All right, so if you'd like to do that, please check the links in the description. Reach out to me. Hit me in the comments. Much love. Take care. I hope to see you here. Bye.